Okay, so what you probably know that the London fork went live last week, and of course that impacts developers. So the first thing, if you look at this page here, they talk about, this is on the ethereum.org, and if you go to ethereum.org, it will, just plain ethereum.org, it'll point you right here. The London upgrade has been released. Click here. It will lead you to a summary, all this information about it, and what's upcoming. So the first thing you want to look at is, if you're a developer, is how is it going to affect you? So this is basically the status update on all the tools. And they're all kind of getting in sync. They're not quite there yet. Solidity is still in progress. Let's see, Open Zeppelin, Waffle. Looks like some of them they haven't even started. Hard Hat is complete. Truffle is in progress. DApp tools are in progress. Remix is still in progress. Waffle is still in progress. These are some of the tools that they talk about to make life easier for Solidity devs. Now, this is interesting. All the libraries are complete. Web3.js, Ethers.js, Ethereum.js, Web3.py, so all the libraries that you'd be using. We've looked at Web3.js when we were looking at some of the DApp stuff. Now the infrastructure, let's see, so this is interesting. If you have used the MetaMask or Ledger for your wallet for Ethereum, they're still in progress, as is Trezor. They're not 100% compatible yet. Looks like Etherscan is complete. So let's have, and so this is very interesting. It looks like it didn't quite get everything ready on time, but I think in coming days, keep an eye on this, and things will start to get together. Now, Remix is, they say, in progress, but notice all the libraries it depends upon are all up to date. So, but gas station, no, it doesn't have anything there. I think we've looked at that. Etherscan is complete. So let's have a look at this here. Okay, this looks like it's going to the code itself, the GitHub. Let's see if we can go to okay, so you can see the Ethereum transaction, the price. This has gone up quite a bit in the last few days. Difficulty, remember they're going to be raising the difficulty in order to get miners to, they're going to slowly raise the difficulty to get the miners to move on to proof of stake. So these are the latest blocks. Obviously you know, this is a transition. But you can see things are still humming along. You can see the number of transactions over the last couple of days. Let's see what else we can find. Let's look at this transaction here. And successful. Transaction type. Fee. Okay. So you can see I got that. This is the cheat sheet. Constant when you add support. So they do talk about some of the new variables that transaction seed. Okay, may not sorts directly. Okay, so these are some of the variables, and that we'll be looking at. Base fee per remember. It's in Ethereum 2, you're going to have this sort of thing. Base fee and max, kind of a priority. And this goes into that. Let's see. You can see this is the, let's see if we can make this bigger. This is kind of small. So that's what they're talking about, and some of the other stuff I read. You can see went up, it went down, it's kind of in this range. This is the average miner profit per Flashbot block. So this is very interesting. Though this is old. This is from April. So let's see. Okay, so this is showing, this is more information about how it's going to impact. And this is kind of, when you get here is when Ethereum went nuts, so you can see the mining fees went up. This is the variables, again, we're going to be looking at when we do transactions. Again, back to where we are in terms of the implementation. My guess is, since all the dependencies of Remix are complete, Remix is probably going to be up to date pretty soon, because all the little pieces and parts. The same thing for Truffle. I think that they're going to be up to date pretty soon. Look, even Solidity is not quite. There's the implement 3198. So let's see if we can take a look at this. What this is. Implement. So this is more like I guess, this is a pull request. Let me explain something. This is just a dev thing. When you're working, this is very common in professional situation. You have your GitHub. What happens is, after you push your code to GitHub, what you'll typically do is you want another pair of eyeballs on your code, right? So what you can do is do a pull request, and you can assign teammates to review your code, look at it, say, oh, you missed this, or this comment isn't clear, or whatever it may be. If they find things that are for improvement, they can tell you, and then you can fix it before it is merged into the main code, the main branch, often the dev branch. Because generally what happens is you get the dev branch, you test it on a dev system, then once that's good, you merge it into the test, and then eventually into what's going to be released. But that's what we're looking at here. This is a pull request. So, very interesting. But let's have a look. This is talking about EIP 3198. So let's take a copy of that, and let's see what this is. That's it, Ethereum Improvement Project. 31.98. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what this says. Simple summary. So, add a base fee that returns value based on current plan. 10 useful accounts to get the value of their base fee. Okay, this makes perfect sense. So remember, when you get into the London fork, you're going to have the base fee and then like a tip. And base fees burned, the miner gets a tip. So, no, I'm talking about the different things here, but this is pretty important. The operator gives the EVM access to the block space fee. So we're still talking about EVM here. We're not talking about EWATM. That's going to be later on. But remember, this is this very, you can't just, change things overnight when you got so many people who are depending on it. So this is some very interesting stuff to have a look at. What I'm going to do is put some of these links in here. The link to this is the history, this is where it's going. You're going to have the Berlin, okay, Berlin already happened. So London and Altair, I guess, is the next, let's see. So we got London, Berlin, the next one's going to be Altair. Expected to go live. It's going to bring in slashing penalties. But this goes into detail of what changed, and it points to, let's see, where we're looking at, this. It goes through our dev tools and the libraries. The libraries, you can see, are all check, which is obviously you need the libraries before you can have the dev tools that are dependent on them. And Ethers and Ethereum JS and Web3 JS are critical for Remix and Truffle and all those type tools. Looks like Hard Hat's done, so that's interesting. And they're still working, I guess, on 31.98. So anyway, hopefully, a couple of other things. I did manage to get the get a VM running on the Linux box. Very interesting when you're using the virtual box. It may complain when you go to start it that it doesn't have, that you have to change something in the BIOS to give it, to put virtualization on. So be aware of that. Once I did that, it started up a version of what we got here, the operating system of 20.4, because now we're on Ubuntu 21.4. I was able to run a 20.4, which means it'll be compatible with Radix DLT, which is why we had to do all that work on a different machine that I was originally able to get a VM up on. The other thing is I'm still having a look at what we were looking at last night. We're trying to get the contract to talk to, or the Rust WASM app rather, to talk to JavaScript, and there's still a connection being missed somewhere. So I'm still playing with that a little bit. For some reason, it's not picking up. It looks like it's a path thing, and I've been trying different paths. It's definitely getting to the index.html, but it is not getting to the the Rust stuff, the Wasm JS stuff that was created in the build. It's not finding it for whatever reason. So anyway, hopefully this has been helpful. I think these links are going to be pretty important. So I will put them in the description. And if you're interested, yeah, it's certainly worth having a look. There's a lot left to go here. This London fork was just the next step before we move along, and eventually we'll get to EWASM and the whole 9 yards, and phasing out proof of work to proof of stake. So anyway, if you found this helpful, then please subscribe, please give a like, please ring the bell for further videos, please tell your friends who might be interested in this, and I will speak to you next time.